Hey, College Algebra Prep, here is your very last lesson in 3.4. I ended up just doing word problems in 3.4. 3.5, we'll take a look at some literal equations. Three 3.5 literal equations. So little reminder here, direct variation versus inverse variation. So let's take a look at, if I have a table here, X, Y, and I'm going to just kind of spread these out a little bit. So 1/3 and 2, 2/3 and 4, 2 and 12, 3 and 18. I'm looking for what's happening from X to Y. What's changing? What is the difference? And if we look at kind of these easier ones like 2 to 12, direct variation, Y equals K times X. So we're going to multiply X by something to get Y. So let's look at 2 and 12. To get 2, to turn 2 into a 12, I'm going to multiply it by 6 to get 12. Right? Let's check if this is true. So 3 times 6, that is 18 as well. Okay, let's take a look at these fractions. 2/3 times 6 is 4. 1/3 times 6 is 2. So each of these, the K value or the amount that they're varying, is 6. Now let's take a look at an inverse variation. Now with an inverse variation, right, you're doing divided by X. So some number divided by X is going to equal your Y, or Y divided by X equals K in some way there. Okay. So something like this. So let's say here I've got 3 and 4. I've got 0.5 and 24, 2 and 6, 12 and 1. So with these ones, we're looking more at something divided by your X value will equal Y. So this is not varying directly for sure. I can't multiply something that gets bigger in some cases and smaller in some cases. So if we were to look at, let's plug in these two numbers here. So if X is 2 and Y is 6, 6 equals some K divided by 2. Multiply by 2 both sides, K is 12. So now let's take a look, right? If I had 12 divided by 2, I'll get 6. 12 divided by 12, I get 1. Let's look at this one. 12 divided by 0.5, I get 24. 12 divided by 3, I get 4. So these are inverse variations because I've got something divided by the X value will give me the Y. And these are kind of the two things to remember. All right, so let's take a look at a literal equation. For example, let's say that Z varies directly by x and inversely by y. If z equals -10, then x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 6. Find z when x is equal to 3 and y is equal to -2. Okay, though this looks like a lot, it's actually easier than it looks. So z varies directly by x and inversely by y. Let's start by writing our literal equation. Right? Equation. Okay, so z varies directly by x, inversely by y. So I need my k, and it varies directly by x, indirectly by y. There's your equation. That's it. K is on top, y is on the bottom. X is on top, y is on the bottom. Step number 2. Ooh, sorry. Got excited. Step number 2, find k. So I'm going to just plug in everything I know, like the one where I know all three things. So -10 instead of z equals k times 15 divided by 6. Solve for k. So let's multiply both sides by 6. -60 is k times 15. Divide by both sides by 15. K is -4. All right, step 3, solve the new problem. So I'm going to take this equation, instead of k, I'm going to put -4. So z is -4x divided by y. Find z when x is 3 and y is -2. -4 times x is 3, y is -2. So z is 4 times 3 is 12 divided by -2 is 6. Z is 6. Let's do that one more time just to make sure we've got it. I'll try to write this a little bit smaller. Z varies directly by x and y. If z is equal to 24, then x is 4 and y is -3. Find x, a little different, when z is 36 and y is 2. All right, so first step, write your equation. Z varies directly by both x and y. What that means is they're both multiplying. That's it. Step number 1. There's my equation. Z is k times x times y. Step number 2, find k. So I'm going to plug in everything I know. Z is 24 equals k times 4 times -3. So 24 is k times -12. Divide both sides by -12. K is -2. Last step. Plug them all in. Plug them all in again. So z is -2 times xy. Plug in everything you know. Z is 36. And y is 2. -4 times 2 is, or -2 times 2 is -4. Divide both sides by -4. -9 is x. That's it.